This story contains spoilers from The Big Bang Theory's Season 11 premiere, The Proposal. Wedding bells are going to be ringing, again, on CBS. The Big Bang Theory. CBS nerdy comedy opened its 11th season Monday with Amy's, Mayim Bialik, almost immediate response to Sheldon's, Jim Parsons, marriage proposal, responding with a resounding yes, setting the stage for the fan-favorite couple to officially tie the knot. And while the gang celebrated their friend's engagement, there was another reason to rejoice: new parents Bernadette, Melissa Rauch, stunned husband Howard, Simon Helberg, with news that she's expecting their second child. The storyline comes after star Rauch revealed her own pregnancy, in an emotional essay, earlier this year. To hear new showrunner Steve Holland tell it, producers then decided to write Rauch's pregnancy into the show as it set up a nice storyline for the on-screen couple. With Big Bang Theory renewed through season 12, presumably its last, Holland talks with THR about if Amy and Sheldon's wedding is fodder for a potential series finale, or if it could happen this season, as well as what's next for Howard, Bernadette, Leonard, Johnny Galecki, Penny, Kaylee Cuoco, and Raj, Kunal Nair. Amy said yes, obviously. Have you plotted out how quickly the engagement and wedding build-up will happen? That's one of the things we've talked about. It's not going to be super quick. There's certainly fun stories to play with this couple planning their wedding. Specifically, Sheldon, who has ideas about everything, is going to have ideas about their wedding. One of the episodes is Sheldon, who is so excited, wants to make the wedding so perfect that he starts to drive himself crazy trying to pick a wedding date. Because he can't just pick a date, he has to analyze every date. He's sure that there's a best one out there. And he can be like that with every decision for this wedding. He's bridezilla. Exactly! But in a sweet way where he wants it to be perfect. So Amy has to love that he's doing that but also be frustrated by it. You presumably have about 40 episodes left in the remainder of the series. Is this wedding endgame, or could it happen this season? Nothing is set in stone. It's possible to see it this season. Like a lot of things we do, we'll mine it for as many stories as we can. But we don't want it to drag on past its end date. I wouldn't be surprised if you saw it this season, although there's no promises to that. Wow. If the wedding were to happen this year, what kind of stories does that open you up to explore in season 12? One of the things that's been interesting going into season 11 is what stories are left to tell. Coming into this season, it feels like we've had lots of stories to tell, and that's because these characters have taken some big steps and have changed. I don't know what it means for next season, but part of the fear of that is also that things have changed. And that's going to open up different stories to tell as well. What are some of the larger subjects that their engagement allows you to explore? In episode 2, there's this thing we were reading about in the science world and talking to our science consultant about. Physics hasn't had the big, exciting breakthrough that they thought it was going to have. And neuroscience is a super exciting field right now that's getting a lot of funding thrown at it. There's a little mini arc to play through the season that Amy's career is going much better than Sheldon's. And Sheldon loves her and is proud of her, but that's a hard thing for his ego to deal with. Not just as a scientist, but to him, physics is by far the better field. As they're negotiating this engagement, that's a thing that plays in the background, too. It's another thing that Sheldon is going to have to figure out, how to come to terms with that in a relationship. We talk a little about that in the season 11 premiere when he's talking to Dr. Hawking. Sheldon mentions that he spoke with Amy's father. Yet viewers haven't met much of Amy's family yet. How much more will we get to know her family as their engagement continues, especially as young Sheldon is exploring so much of his moving forward on a wedding and finding a real way to do it? There's a good possibility that will include her family. We haven't gotten that far in the writing, so I can't say concretely, but it's certainly a thing that we're talking about, how to do that and who they are. We've seen her mom, very briefly, and have never seen her dad. It was interesting when we did Leonard and Penny's wedding last season, we brought in her whole family, which was fun. But it's a lot of other characters you have to write for and figure out how to squeeze into the show. Do you have dream casting for Amy's father? We always have a wish list of people that we would love to have come in, and that's the kind of role that would be really exciting if you could get somebody great. There,